I had never thought much about my shower. For most of my life, it was just a place where I rinsed away the exhaustion of the day, where steam fogged the mirror and warmth wrapped around me like a blanket. Nothing extraordinary, nothing frightening, but everything changed the night. I screamed when the shower water turned red. Even saying it aloud sounds ridiculous. But if you've ever had that moment when something completely ordinary suddenly becomes terrifying, then you'll understand what I mean. That night, the shower was supposed to be my safe place. Instead, it became the gateway to something I still can't explain. Something that feels like it never ended. It started like any other evening. I had come home late from work, my body sore, my mind buzzing from deadlines and the empty chatter of coworkers. I lived alone in a small apartment on the 4th floor of a building that was old, but functional. The kind of place where the walls creaked with age and the pipes sometimes rattled. Nothing unusual, really. I turned on the bathroom light, humming to myself. The kind of nervous little song you make when you're too tired to think. I tossed my clothes into the hamper, stepped into the shower, and let the hot water wash over me. At first, it was perfect warmth loosening my tense shoulders, steam curling up around me. I closed my eyes, leaning my head back against the tiles. For just a moment, I felt safe, cocooned in my own private world. But then the water changed. At first, it was subtle. The warmth was still there, but the pressure shifted, stuttering as though the pipes were struggling. I frowned, opening my eyes. The clear spray that had been running moments before now looked off. A faint tint, just enough to catch the light. I blinked hard, thinking maybe the steam was playing tricks on me. But when I held out my hand beneath the stream, my stomach dropped. The water wasn't clear anymore. It was pink, and as I stared, the pink deepened, thickened, until it was unmistakably red. Blood. A metallic scent filled the air, sharp and suffocating, coating the back of my throat. I gagged, stumbling back against the wall, my skin already splattered with crimson droplets. My brain scrambled for a rational explanation. Rust in the pipes. Maybe. Old buildings sometimes had that problem, but the smell was too fresh, too raw, and the way it stained the tiles, the way it dripped slowly from my hair, it wasn't rust. I screamed, the sound bouncing off the bathroom walls. But of course no one answered. I reached for the handle, desperate to shut the water off, but it wouldn't budge. My wet, slippery hands twisted it hard. Harder, but it was like it had fused into place. The water, if I could even call it, that kept pouring, the spray growing stronger, louder, until it roared in my ears. My heartbeat matched its rhythm, fast, panicked. The steam had changed too. It no longer felt warm and comforting. It clung to my skin, heavy, suffocating, as if the whole room was filling with the metallic fog of an open wound. And then I saw the glass. The shower door, once fogged with condensation, was streaked now, not with water, but with the shapes of fingers, dragging slowly downward from the outside. My breath hitched. I lived alone. No one should have been there. I wiped at the glass with a trembling hand, but the streaks remained, smeared like greasy stains. I pressed my ear to the door, listening, my heart pounding. And that's when I heard it, a whisper. It was faint at first, muffled by the roar of the water, but the sound was there. A voice, and it wasn't mine. My name. It whispered my name. I froze, every hair of my body standing on end. The voice came from the showerhead itself, hissing through the water as though the pipes had learned to speak. It repeated my name again, louder this time, twisting the sound into something almost mocking. My knees buckled, and I clung to the wall for balance, shaking my head in disbelief. This wasn't real. It couldn't be real. Do you know what's worse than hearing your name whispered in an empty room? Hearing it whispered in your own home, in a place that should be safe, and realizing you have nowhere to run. I yanked at the door, but it was stuck. My palms slipped against the handle, my skin raw from the pounding spray. My panic grew as the water pressure spiked. It didn't feel like water anymore. It felt sharp, slicing against my arms, leaving tiny, burning cuts in its wake. I looked down at my legs, horrified to see thin red lines appearing across my skin, as if the shower itself was cutting into me. And then I saw the drain. At first, I thought it was clogged, the red water pooling at my feet. But when I crouched down, trying to make sense of it, I realized it wasn't clogged with hair or soap. It was filled with teeth. Dozens of human teeth, small and yellowed, grinding slowly in the whirlpool of crimson water. I screamed again, stumbling back against the tiles, my body shaking violently. The whispering turned into laughter. It came from the pipes, from the steam, from the walls themselves. A chorus of low, guttural chuckles that surrounded me, closing in. I slammed my fists against the glass door, desperate to break it, but my strength failed me. My vision blurred as the steam thickened, seeping into my lungs. I coughed, gagging, my chest heaving. The bathroom light flickered overhead, plunging the room into momentary darkness before buzzing back on. And in that brief blackout, I saw it. A figure. It stood on the other side of the glass, its head tilted, its mouth stretched into a grin too wide to be human. Its eyes gleamed in the flickering light, unblinking. I froze, my body trembling uncontrollably. When the light returned fully, the figure was gone, but the streaks of fingers on the glass remained, fresh and wet. I don't remember how long I stood there, paralyzed, the roar of the red water deafening me. Time lost meaning. All I knew was fear, choking fear, and then, suddenly, it stopped. The water shut off. Whoosed like that, silence filled the bathroom, broken only by my ragged breathing. The drain was empty. The glass was clear. My skin, though cut and raw, no longer bled. I collapsed onto the shower floor, sobbing, my body shaking uncontrollably. But as I pulled myself out, wrapping a towel around me, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The tiles on the floor, once white, were stained, not just splattered, but deeply soaked with red, as if the blood had seeped into them. I touched the stain with trembling fingers. It was warm. Primera basket Hawaii, refusing to look at the shower again, and stumbled into my bedroom. I slammed the bathroom door shut, locking it, even though I knew a flimsy lock wouldn't stop. Whatever that was, I curled up on my bed, shivering beneath the towel, listening to the silence. But silence is never truly silent, is it? As I lay there, I heard it again. The faint hiss of water, the whisper of my name, not from the bathroom this time. From the pipes in the walls, from the sink kitchen faucet, from everywhere water could flow. I screamed again, clutching my head, tears streaming down my face, and that's when I realized the truth. The water wasn't just turning red. It wasn't just inside the shower. It was following me. Even now, days later. I can't escape it. I've moved apartments. I've scrubbed the pipes, replaced the fixtures, avoided showers altogether. But it doesn't matter. When I turn on the tap, even for a second, the smell of metal fills the air. Sometimes, when the water runs clear, I think maybe it's over. But then I see the faintest pink swirl. And it's still with me. And the worst part, sometimes the water stays clean, but my skin still bleeds. So tell me, when you step into your shower tonight, will the water run clear? Or will you scream too, when the shower water turns red? Because if it happened to me, it can happen to you. If this nightmare crawled under your skin, don't look away now. If you dare, click here for the next horror waiting on this Chanela story, even darker than this one. Because the water isn't the only thing in your home that remembers you.